When I tell people about Mision De Candellia, I guess I just tell them it's not only we not only bring medical supplies and doctors to people to help them physically, but we also bring God's love and we bring fellowship.
At Mision De Candellia, in one sentence, it would be that it is about building relationships based on the love of Christ.
What I would like to say about Mision De Candellia is their continuity. They have seen the kids as babies, and they've grown up, and now they're taking care of their kids. And when we first arrive on scene, it's almost like a family reunion because they know the people so well.
Back in 1986, a couple by the name of Jack and Carol Smith, who were doing agricultural work in the region, in several of the villages across the river from Big Bend National Park, they were well aware that they needed to also bring medical care to these villages. It's a very remote area. It's a 5 or 6 hour drive from any services there in Mexico. So they contacted Sarah. We knew them from when we went to church at their particular church, and they contacted Sarah, as I said, and Sarah said, well, she's an RN, but she didn't feel confident to do this on her own, so she contacted Dr. Lane, who lived across the street from us that time. And so the first group took place in spring of 1986, and it kind of grew from there.
The way that the name for Mision De Candellia came was Curtis, my husband, Curtis Allerkamp, and Dr. Otis Lane were talking one day, thinking of what they would name this organization, and they remembered the Candelilla plant and the fact that out of that Candelilla, wax is extracted, and out of the wax, candles can be made, among other things, and the light. When you turn a candle on, when you light up a candle, there's a light. And so we, the people of the body of Jesus Christ, are the light in the world. We're called the light in the world. And that's how they decided to use, call it Candelilla, Mision De Candelilla.
Where we go, the area is actually in the state of Coahuila. And if you look at a map of Texas and look where Big Bend National Park is, you'll see a region right across the border from there, across the Rio Grande River. There's a village called Boquilla, San Vicente, and several other little villages in Mexico there. This is the region we work in. We work in 10 different villages in the state of Coahuila. It's really the northwestern corner of Coahuila, and actually a few of the villages we go to are in the northeastern corner of the state of Chihuahua. To drive there, however, we have to pass through Eagle Pass or Presidio, depending on which villages we're going to in order to get there. And we drive about 100 miles in and then work our way northwestward into the villages over some very rugged roads. These villages, they have no running water, they have no electricity, so when we get there it's kind of like camping out.
When we're there, we get up. Curtis is the first one up. He is the main cook, and he's up by 5 in the morning getting the coffee going. Then after the people get up, we have breakfast, and then we have a devotional. That sets the tone for the day, reminding us why are we there, reminding the groups why they're there, and that it isn't only to minister to the people, but that God also wants to minister to them. Then we assign, on the first day, we assign who's going to be working pharmacy, meaning who's going to be counting the pills and getting them ready for the patients, who's going to be doing the vital signs, who's going to be doing labs. We do the clinic, we go through the clinic all day, the people come all washed up in their best clothes, clean, and to them it's such a special treat because they get to visit, sit and visit with each other, because their lives can be mundane, but they're also very hard, very labor intensive, and for them to be able to sit for a while and visit with each other and visit with us is a big blessing to them. So we do that during the day, and then we have people that we've got to know, women that we've gotten to know, that cook for us. They'll cook a Mexican meal. Curtis will add a salad and some fruit, and we'll all share a meal in that person's home. And then in the evening, if we have time, we take a bath. If we don't, we go straight into the church service, where we have our church services in the evening. Then we go to bed outside under the stars. This is the best part. To me, I always say I love going to bed because it's been a hard day, and then you lay your cot out under the stars. And for those people that don't want to sleep outside, they can sleep inside. There's usually the church, or there's the clinic that they can move indoors and sleep inside, and just relax and enjoy the stars until we close our eyes and get up the next day and do the same thing. We pack up and go on to the next village.
Seeing how it changed my life, and then other people, friends that went with me in high school, I just saw how it just changed their outlook on life, and it's changed my future, like everything that I want to do in life. Something that I'll always remember from the trips, it was on my second trip, and we were just kind of having downtime during one of the clinics, and this boy had just been kind of hanging around all day long, and I just blew up a medical glove and like drew a face on it, and we just had a great time just playing with it, and he was just so happy and kind of hung out with me for the rest of the time we were in the village.
What the people over there say is that our coming gives them hope. And that's not my word, that's the word that they use. And there used to be a lot of mission activity in that area back in the 1970s and into the 80s. And it all fell away, and we're the only ones that go into that area.
I had the privilege of taking 5 trips with Mision De Candellia, taking groups of high school students that I teach. And one of the things I most appreciate about the work that Mision De Candellia does is the fact that Curtis and Sarah have a unique sensitivity to desiring the people who come on these trips to encounter God, and to encounter God in such a real, undoubtable fashion that they go home and live changed lives. And I've seen it happen with countless of our students and myself year after year.
The beauty of it is that anybody can, anybody that wants to, anybody. Money should not be a factor. We have scholarships, any way, but if anybody wants to go on a trip, they can go. And the second thing is, they don't have to be a doctor, they don't have to speak Spanish, they don't have to be a nurse. It can be anyone, young or old. We've had couples bring their 6 months and 6-month baby with them. We've had children come, and the children play with the other children in the village. We've had people as old as 85, and if you can walk and talk and still move at 90 or 100, you can come. It doesn't matter.
You know, when I tell people about Mision De Candellia, I just start with Mexico, because that's a great topic. I like to start with something like that Dr. Lane and I both joke about, and that is, well, why don't you come with me to Mexico? It's 5 days and 4 nights, and it's only $350. Everything's paid for. It's a great trip. And then I proceed from there, and I proceed to talk about the various people. But and what I say to them is that if you're really looking for an interesting experience, not only to meet new people and to be able to help people, but if you're looking for an experience with God yourself, then come with us. Because truly, we really try very hard to live up to changing lives on both sides of the border.